Hi, Ellen Meister here. I'm going to read to you right now from my brand new book, Love Sold Separately, a book that takes place at a fictional shopping channel. I'm actually going to read to you from chapter 2 because that's where my character Dana Barry actually auditions for her role at the shopping channel as a host. So the only setup that you need to know is that when the book opens up, Dana, who is a struggling actress who hasn't gone on an audition in 6 months, she loses the one job she has to help her make ends meet as a cashier at Hot Topic, and she's fired for cause. She had misbehaved and lost her job. So, with no prospects and nothing going on in her life, Dana copes the only way that she can, which is that she gets drunk and high. In the middle of this, her best friend Megan stops by. Megan also doubles as her business manager to announce that she has landed Dana an audition as a shopping channel host. The only catch is that she has to go right now. So Dana has to get very sober very quickly. She takes a shower. She has a little chemical help that makes her actually pretty wired. And off she goes to the audition. And that's where we pick up with her. The only other background I think you need to know here is that there's a reference to Kitty Todd, who's the star host at the shopping channel, and a throwaway reference to a Catherine Zeta-Jones lookalike, who's another woman who's auditioning for the host job. And other than that, I do skip around a little bit, so I'll try to read smoothly, but just forgive me if I don't. I am going to do my very best. Okay, so here goes chapter 2 from Love Sold Separately. Dana looked down at the ugliest piece of jewelry she had ever seen. She had been ushered into a soundstage labeled Studio C and put behind a table with a single malachite ring on display. It was hideous, like a cheap prop from a play about pirate booty, something that would look ornate even from the rafters. The green striped stone was round and large, set high inside a brass circle inlaid with spiky dark gems of indistinguishable origin. If that wasn't bad enough, the striated stone and brass setting were based on a shank of rose gold. It clashed so loudly it clanged and was almost painful to look at. There was no script, and prospective hosts were expected to ad-lib. Dana knew she could do a passable job of gushing over the elements of the ring as if it were the very thing that would make any woman's life complete. But she also knew that just about every person auditioning could do the same thing. And if voluptuous Catherine Zeta-Jones had been even halfway decent at it, she was toast. The house lights were on, so Dana could see the death panel of judges sitting in a row of directors' chairs before her. A wiry, tattooed guy in a black t-shirt and jeans approached Dana to hook up her mic. "I'm Dana," she said. "Can I ask you something?" He looked at her with eyes as dark and earnest as Lin-Manuel Miranda's. She felt like he was someone she could trust. "Do you have a comb on you?" she whispered. "You look fine," he said. "It's not that." She took a quick glance around the studio and spotted a stocky man in coveralls pushing a large broom behind the stage. He had shiny black hair combed neatly back. "What's that guy's name?" she asked, pointing with her chin. Lorenzo glanced over. "That's Hector." She smiled a thanks before he turned on her mic and backed away. "Are you ready, Miss Barry?" asked the woman in glasses. "Just a moment," Dana said. "I have to ask Hector a question." "Who the hell is Hector?" said Kitty Todd, pronouncing the name like it had something sticking to it. Dana turned to the man with the broom and called his name. He was so surprised to be addressed, it took a moment to get his attention. "Can I borrow your comb?" Dana asked. The woman in glasses sighed, exasperated, and whispered something that sounded like diva. Kitty Todd took the opportunity to answer a call from the cell phone brought to her by a young male assistant. Just as Dana expected, Hector had a small black comb in his pocket. "Thank you," she said when he handed it to her. "I'll give it back when I'm done." Hector shrugged and went back to his post. Dana pushed the offensive ring to the side and set the comb on the display box. Then she waited for the attention of Kitty Todd, who was still on the phone. When at last Kitty finished her call, she turned her attention to Dana, who took a deep breath. "Kill this," she coached herself. "Just fucking kill it." And then she launched herself aiming straight for the moon. "I'm Dana Barry," she said in a bright voice as she looked directly into the audition camera. "Thank you for joining us for today's special, which is the one beauty product every woman with every hair type must have. The 68-tooth Hector comb is virtually unbreakable and comes with a lifetime guarantee. Think about that. How many products do you own that will last a lifetime? And I'm talking about a product you'll use every single day. It works on short hair. It works on long hair. It works on blonde hair and brown hair and black hair and red hair. It works on thick hair and thin hair. And look at the construction. Can I get a close-up, please? This is one solid piece of tested polycarbonate. The teeth are not glued or fitted together, and that's what makes it indestructible." Dana paused to pick up the comb and demonstrate what it took to bend it. "You'll see that it's engineered to have some give so that it's not brittle." She slammed it against the side of the table, then held it up to the camera to show that it was still in one piece, and gave a small laugh, as if she were taking the viewer right inside her own incredulousness at the wonder of this gift from the heavens. "You can't break it even if you try." Dana took a breath, encouraged that no one had stopped her yet. She hoped it meant they were impressed. "Now," she said, using it to comb through a lock of her own hair, "I want you to notice that the tapered ends of the teeth make the Hector comb glide perfectly through my hair, but it also works as a spiking tool." At that, she used the comb to lift the short hair on the top of her head. "Oh," she said, looking up as if she were reading live sales numbers from one of the black screens facing her, "we've already sold 2,000 units. I'm thrilled so many of you are taking advantage of this incredible value at $19.99 and available on our Easy Bucks option for $5 a month. It's something you'll want to grab before we're sold out. And while you're at it, get one for a friend, because everyone who cares about looking good will love having this remarkable, unbreakable, taper-tooth marvel of hairstyling engineering. And ladies, it's portable." Dana punched the word with near hysteria and hoped she hadn't gone too far. "That's right. The Hector comb fits into your pocket, into your purse, into your backpack. If you're like me and you've struggled to fit your beauty essentials into a tiny evening bag, you'll appreciate that it takes up less room than a compact." Dana stopped for a breath, ready to ramble as long as they would let her. She went on to talk about the polished smoothness of the teeth, fudging facts about the molecular structure of polycarbonate plastic, explaining why it didn't create static, no matter how often you combed your hair. She laughed charmingly as she recounted stories of embarrassing flyaways from other products. Since she didn't have a selection of colors to offer, she marveled at the richness of the black plastic, tilting it to demonstrate how it reflected light like a gem. She gussed over everything, from the striking concept that it went with absolutely everything. She repeated the price. She gave a made-up phone number, recounted stories of friends who bought the Hector comb and didn't know how they ever lived without it. Dana amazed even herself the things she found to say about the comb, and was struck by the utter silence in the studio. Her gut sense was that they were more awed than bored. But she didn't trust her perception, not with the drug still having a party with her neurotransmitters. Intent on keeping her spot lively, she decided to switch things up and start pulling people from offstage so she could demonstrate that it worked with every hair type, even as a pick for curly and afro styles that didn't require combing. "I have some friends in the studio who would—" "Thank you, Miss Barry," called the woman in the glasses, and Dana swallowed hard. They had let her go on longer than she expected, but it was such an abrupt interruption it sounded like a curt dismissal. The stage lights dimmed, and Kitty Todd rose from her chair without even glancing Dana's way. Her male assistant came scurrying over, and the two of them headed toward the door. "Thanks for the opportunity," Dana said. "If you have any questions—" Kitty held up a hand to silence her, and Dana could do nothing but watch as the pretty young man opened the door for his imperious boss. She paused there, framed and backlit, and turned to the woman in glasses. "Do you need something, Kitty?" the woman asked. "This one," Kitty said, pointing to Dana. "Higher, this one." And that was it. The door closed behind her, and all Dana could hear was the swoosh, swoosh, swoosh of Hector's broom. And that's chapter 2 from Love Sold Separately. Hope it interests you, and thanks for watching. Bye.